Hello everyone. This video presents a notable event that happened on each day from the past week in history. On May 5th, 1904, Denton Cy Young of the Boston Americans pitched an historic American League game against the Philadelphia Athletics, not allowing any base runners in the first Major League perfect game of the modern baseball era. The name Cy was a shortened form of cyclone, a nod to his ability to demolish fencing like a cyclone with his fastball. Born in Ohio in 1867, Young first played professionally in Canton, Ohio, moving up to the big show with the Cleveland Spiders of the National League. Young embarked on a major league career that led to a record of 511 career wins, 749 complete games pitched, and another record of 25 1/3 consecutive hitless innings pitched among other achievements. He hurled a total of 3 no-hitters. His last victory came at the expense of the Pittsburgh Pirates. On May 6, 2014, Canadian author Farley Mowat died only a week before turning 93 years old. A World War II veteran, Mowat saw combat in Sicily and Italy with the infantry, and later served as an intelligence officer, including working with a German general to allow the Allies to drop food and supplies to Dutch civilians behind German lines. After the war, he began a career in writing and environmental causes and was known as an anti-war activist. Mowat wrote over 40 books about nature and his war experience, and in 1985, when he was to make a book tour of the U.S. government denied him entry, calling him a subversive. The recipient of numerous awards, including 9 honorary doctorates, Mowat was honored with a life-size statue of himself at the University of Saskatchewan after his death. Have you read any of Mowat's books? Which ones? On May 7, 1718, the city of New Orleans in what is now the state of Louisiana was founded by Jean-Baptiste Le Moyne de Bienville, the French governor of Louisiana in what was then New France, the French colonial enterprise in North America. Bienville was born in Ville-Marie, now Montreal, Quebec, New France, now Canada, and was sent by French colonial authorities to the Gulf Coast to explore and establish a foothold for France. Bienville's travels led to the founding of Mobile, Alabama, and Biloxi, Mississippi, as well as New Orleans, or La Nouvelle Orléans in French, named in honor of the Duke of Orleans. Considered the father of Louisiana as well as the father of New Orleans, Bienville is memorialized by a statue erected in 1955, appropriately located in the Big Easy, as New Orleans is often called. Have you been to New Orleans? If so, did you like it? On May 8, 1970, the Fab Four, the Mop Tops, or simply the Beatles, released what would be their final album, Let It Be. Incredibly, the 35-minute and 10-second album was only the 5th album produced by the arguably greatest rock and roll band of all time. Side 1 featured the songs Two of Us, Dig a Pony, Across the Universe, I Me Mine, Dig It, Let It Be, and Maggie May. Side 2 featured I've Got a Feeling, One After 909, The Long and Winding Road, For You Blue, and Get Back. The album was actually released months after John Lennon had left the Beatles, and though the album was a huge popular success, reaching #1 status, it became a source of controversy and critical disdain. As a question for my students and subscribers, do you believe the Beatles are the greatest rock and roll band? If not, who would you nominate? On May 9, 2020, the unemployment rate in the United States hit the staggering number of 14.9%, the worst employment number since the Great Depression in 1939. Incredibly, the unemployment rate in the UK was less than 5%, and in Germany it was only 5.9%, while Europe as a whole suffered just over 7% unemployment in the year of COVID. Sadly, lower-income working-class people in the U.S. were hurt the worst by the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, with persistent unemployment leading to loss of health insurance and inability to pay normal bills. Shortages of certain foods and consumer goods resulted from closed factories, processing plants, and transportation systems, and the federal government threw about $1 trillion at the public in an effort to prevent economic collapse and hardship. On May 10, 1899, a farm worker in Finland hacked 7 people to death with an axe, proving once again that murderers do not necessarily need a firearm to inflict mayhem on the innocent public. Carl Emil Melmelin, 27 years old at the time, was working on a farm in Finland when his offer of marriage was rebuffed by a young lady, the daughter of the property owner. Not one to take no for an answer, Carl proceeded to kill everyone on the farm, which included 2 men, 3 women, and 2 children. Although convicted of the murders, Carl was later pardoned by Tsar Nicholas II in 1912, that part of Finland being in the Russian Empire at the time. Another Finnish axe murderer, Toivo Kaljonen, who killed 6 people with an axe in 1943, was not treated so mercifully and was executed the same year. On May 11, 1812, the lobby of the British House of Commons was the scene of an unprecedented and as yet not repeated historical event, the assassination of a British Prime Minister. Spencer Perceval had been Prime Minister since October of 1809, representing the Tory party. Previously, he had served as an MP, Solicitor General, Attorney General, and Chancellor of the Exchequer, the only British politician to hold those offices and then become Prime Minister. On the fateful day, Perceval was shot in the chest by a single pistol round fired by John Bellingham, a British merchant that had been imprisoned in Russia and believed he was owed compensation by the British government for his allegedly wrongful imprisonment. Bellingham was convicted of the murder and hanged on May 18, 1812. As a question for my students and subscribers, who is your favorite British Prime Minister? Please let us know. As a question for my students and subscribers, which event from this past week in history would you most like to learn more about? Please let me know in the comment section below this video. If you liked this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History and Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated. For image, audio, and other credits and attributions for components of the individual videos in this compilation, please see the descriptions of their respective videos, which are linked to in this video's description.